Hey everyone, another circuit. So we're going to get started with upper body, pick up our weights. We're going to go into WVs. So these will look like you have a V up. So I'll bend down here a little bit. We're starting with a V and then we're coming down into our W here. So we come up and out and then come down into our W here. These are going to work the shoulders and the back. Slow and controlled as always. And we want to think about squeezing the shoulder blades together in the back as we come down. So you can lean a little bit further back with these to push the chest out. And what that's going to do is that's going to emphasize the shoulder blades coming together. So you want to work your back here. You have a neutral spine. Knees are not locked. Your feet can either be together. Shoulder width, however you feel most stable. We are just working the upper body here. Come up. Come back and squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the back. These are really good at defining the area where if you are wearing a strapless dress, backless dress, these will really shape everything up. And for the guys, if you're going heavy with these are going to give you a wide shoulder with that V taper. 2. And last one here, come down with control. We're going to go into the weight drop squat. So we're wide here. We take our weights or anything heavy that you may have around the house, and the knees will stay over the ankle. As you come down, set the weights on the ground, and then bring them back up. Squeeze at the top. So you come down, pause, come up with that forward tilt. Come down, and come back up. So this pause here at the bottom it's really going to emphasize taking these slow and controlled. And what's going to happen as you pause at the bottom, you're taking that extra contraction, just as when you come up to the top and contract the glutes. It's the same concept for holding a constant contraction on the muscles that we're trying to work. So we're lifting through the pelvic floor, raising that elevator up to squeeze the glutes. So you can either take your hands off your waist down here or just rest them at the bottom. So if you're doing these and your squat ends here, just pause here and then come up. So there's a couple of variations to this. The point is taking that pause. At the bottom of your movement, pause and then come up to squeeze. So let's go 3. Come up to squeeze. 2. Last one here. Come up to squeeze. So we'll switch back into the WVs. We start up here in our V, come down into our W. We're here with the V, come down into our W. And what you're doing, I'll turn to the back here. You're coming up, and as you're coming down, you're squeezing those shoulder blades. So whenever I demonstrate this in class, I'll turn my back so that they can see that emphasis right at the shoulder blades so they know where to squeeze and contract at. We're lifting here and we're coming down to squeeze. The reason why we take the extra contraction is because it emphasizes the muscle. If you're just lifting up and down like this, you're not going to hit those major muscles. Mind-muscle connection is one of the most important factors in strength training. The reason is it makes your exercises more effective so that you're getting the most out of what you're doing. Squeeze the shoulder blades. 3, 2, and on that last one, don't just drop. Come up, come down and squeeze, then release. Back into the drop squats. We're wide in these. Come down, drop, bring it up to contract. Another trick with these wide squats is when you come down, push your knees out a little bit. That's going to emphasize correct form, and it's going to make sure that you're getting the most out of these exercises. Again, you don't have to do rep after rep. If you're making the most out of your reps, it's more effective. You have to do less. Another thing, if you're in this wide squat and it becomes uncomfortable, adjust. Don't be afraid to adjust during the exercise if your form is lacking. Come up to contract, come down to pause, and then bring it back up. Drop, come up to squeeze. We'll go 5, 4, come up to squeeze, 3, 2, and last one. Remember on that last one, don't make it fast. You're maintaining control. Come up to squeeze. Okay, so now we have a wide deadlift to a bicep curl. So we're stepping wide, and just like in that traditional deadlift form, our palms are out here to get ready for the bicep curl. We hinge at the hips, come down, feel the stretch in the hamstring, use that pelvic floor to bring you up, contract, curl. Deadlift, use those glutes to bring you up, contract, and curl. So now we're getting the upper and the lower body together, raising the heart rate. Come down, contract on the way up, curl. Down we go, come up, squeeze at the top, curl. Deadlift, bicep curl. Feel that stretch in the hamstrings, and then come up. And your knees are not locked here. You have a little bit of a bend, but unlike the squat, you're focused on hinging at the hips, not bending at the knee. So with our deadlift, there's no bend or flexion at the knee, even though your knees are slightly bent. 2 more. Contract the glutes, squeeze at the top, and curl. 1 more. Come down, up, squeeze, curl. Don't just let go on that last rep. Come down with control. So we'll move into cardio with water. So we'll go into those booty kicks. I am fresh off of teaching spin. We had a good class today. So we're just going into those booty kicks. And again, your goal here is to get your heart rate up to about a level 7 on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm taking mainly modifications during these videos. My heart rate is going up, which you can tell. But if I'm in class, I'm adding a skip, I'm adding a jump. I always tell my clients that they can take any modification that they want as long as their heart rate is up. And they know that if their heart rate is not up, then you're going to make these movements more intense. And if you have anything in your house to utilize, long hallways, stairs to climb, go ahead and utilize that. Some of my clients, I'll even send them to run around the block and come back. There's various ways that you can incorporate your cardio into this little 3 to 5 minute segment. So we're here working on getting the heart rate up. We'll move into ice skaters in just a minute. Okay, so we'll move into ice skaters now. We're just going to utilize the space that we have. And once we get into a flow, then we can speed it up. Again, adding that jump or skip. We want to make sure that the heart rate speeds up quite a bit. And what happens is, whenever you're in the strength portion and you go into utilizing the upper and the lower body, that's using more muscles. So that's going to automatically bring your heart rate up. And that's why I incorporate that into my circuits, is so that you're still doing strength training, but that heart rate's starting to climb, so that by the time that you're getting into cardio, you're almost halfway there. And then from there, you take the waist out of the equation and you speed up your movements, and that's going to get your heart rate really climbing for that 3 to 5 minutes. And that's our goal. And again, if you're working in a small space, then you're just going to make sure that your movements are quick. Use the upper and the lower body. You can always go a little bit deeper into these moves. That will raise your heart rate. We'll go back into those booty kicks. Even if it's just jogging in place for 3 to 5 minutes. This is where you would probably have music playing in the background. But all of these workouts are designed to do at home. Okay, so we're going to continue on here. Apparently when you're taking a video on an iPhone and someone calls you, it stops taking video. So I'm going to try to put these back together as best I can. But we're going to continue on because that is what I do. So we're here with the booty kicks. I estimated we need about 6 more minutes, 5 or 6 more minutes here. So as we continue on with these cardio circuits here, you're invited to do different things As long as your heart rate is up to about a level 7, that's what we're looking for. So we'll come into our ice skaters here. This will be our last little part. As we work into these, we build up speed. Let's make sure that we're maintaining that heart rate. Coming side to side here. These are good because if you are in a small space or on a second floor, you can do these with relatively little noise. I would do these circuits when my son was a baby and he was napping next to me. Getting your heart rate up. Take these for about another 30 seconds, good 30 seconds here. You can really feel these after you've done those drop squats. And it doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look coordinated at all. As long as your body is moving and your heart rate is up, that is all you're looking for. It's relatively easy to get the heart rate up. Even if you're really just marching in place, your heart rate's still gonna go up. So if that's a modification that you need to take in these cardio sections until you can build up, that's fine too. You do what you can do, follow the model of the format, and you're going to be able to get that total body workout in your 20, 40, or 60-minute session. 3, 2, and last one here. So for our standing abs, we're going to do TikToks. So we're standing neutral. We're going to utilize that pelvic tilt here. We're going to bring the belly button into the spine. So we have a contracted core. We're going to come out to the side like we're reaching for something over here on the left side. And then you're going to tick back to the right side. So we're just moving side to side through here. Feeling that stretch. If you want to put your hands here, that's fine. You just want to maintain that contraction in the core and come side to side. And if you have to reset the body at any point, go ahead and take that moment to do so. It's better to reset yourself than it is to stop doing it because you feel like you're losing form. So reset your form at any time and then continue through the workout. Just because you lose form doesn't mean you have to give up. It's like an ice skater who falls during a routine. They get back up and then they continue on. So you reset your body and continue on throughout the workout. So we're just holding that contraction, reaching side to side while maintaining that contraction in the core. Movement within the contraction. 3, 2, make the last one count. 1, then we'll drop down to the floor. So from here, we're going to do butterfly crunches. The position of your legs will be in that butterfly position. And we'll come here. And the key to these is making sure that one, your lower back is into the floor. And you're going to squeeze through the midline with your feet, creating a contraction within your inner thighs and then your lower abs. And from here, we just rock up with the upper and lower body and down. And the most important thing here is to maintain that neutral spine so you're not completely crunched like this. You want to be looking up and ahead. And hold and up and squeeze. So when you come up, you're going to squeeze into that contraction and then come down. So you come up, squeeze into the contraction, and then come back down. Come up and squeeze, and then come back down. Squeeze, and come back down. So with any of these strength building exercises, if you're just rep after rep after rep, it's more effective if you take that time to make the mental connection to the muscles that you're working. Do them slowly so that you can feel that contraction. That will make them more effective. That will mean that you have to do less reps. To see results, it's important to think about what you're doing. 3, up and hold. 2, up and hold. Last one. Don't just drop on these. Up and hold. And don't drop. We'll come back down. And then we'll come up. So, hopefully I will be able to get this circuit patched back together. So if this is your first and middle, the last one maybe your only one for the day, I say congrats and have a great one. Thanks.